The film starts and it is told that a virus has spread throughout England. Zombies have more increase than human beings. Zombies love to devour the brain. And a man is seen who reaches a palace, riding on a horse. This man's name is William Darcy and he is colonel by profession. Now Darcy knows that there is an arranged party in this palace. There is a man in this place who will soon convert into a zombie. Now Darcy asks from a lady, coming into a palace, but she knew nothing about it. Now that lady also invites Darcy for the party. Then Darcy had an idea, how can he catch that man? Darcy had a bottle which consisted some flies. He frees those flies in that party, as it is a knowledge that dead bodies attract flies. Now those flies sit on a guest of a party, it reveals, that man is not alive. He will soon be transformed into a zombie. Meanwhile, Darcy kills him while attacking. Then he checks that there were the biting marks of zombie on his arm. Then Darcy asks the lady, is his closest kin present in this party? Because they can also be transformed into zombies soon. Then that lady says, his no relative is present in this party except him. Hearing it, Darcy leaves this place. Then a maid goes into the room to check that man's knees. She observes that she is completely transformed into a zombie, and she has also killed a servant. Now she also attacks this maid. At first sight, all people in the palace are transformed into a zombie. Then a family comes on the scene, where 5 sisters are living with their parents, and those 5 sisters had learned to fight from their father. And they were also smarter in the studies with it. Now these all 5 sisters arrived in a party along with their mother, where many aristocratic bachelors' arrival was also expected. Because their mother wished that their daughter may be proposed by some good bachelors. And they get married with them soon. Then an aristocratic bachelor arrives in that party, and Mr. Darcy also comes there with him. That aristocratic boy was the bosom friend of Mr. Darcy. And that boy likes this family's elder daughter, seeing her. And Mr. Darcy's friend also shows her younger sister named Elizabeth, and he says, look, how beautiful she is. She will be perfect for you. Why do we both offer them for dance? Darcy also likes Elizabeth at the first sight, and Elizabeth also begins to like Darcy. But Darcy thinks that mostly girls in the party are after him because of his aristocracy. Darcy also explains it now to his friend. Elizabeth also hears this whole conversation. Being sad, she leaves the party. Now Elizabeth was weeping, leaving the party. At the same time, a lady comes there who was completely transformed into a zombie. She was going to attack Elizabeth, coming there. Meantime, Darcy rescues her, coming there. And he kills this zombie. Now they check as zombies have attacked in party celebration. Then the girls display their skills there. And they face the zombies, taking their weapons out. When Darcy and his friend witness this sight, then they are deeply inspired by these girls. Next day, Elizabeth's elder sister receives an invitation letter for dinner from Darcy's friend. When Elizabeth's sister was going, then a few zombies attack her. Then she kills them while fighting with them. But Elizabeth's sister condition has gone worse because of wetting in the rain. But she reaches Darcy's friend's house. Next day, Elizabeth also comes there to meet with her sister. Because her sister's condition was not so good. Now Darcy feels, witnessing the condition of Elizabeth's sister as she will soon convert into a zombie. But Elizabeth stops Darcy for taking any action. There is a great argumentation between them here. Later, she returns at her home, taking her sister. It is seen further that all sisters were going to their kins, getting together. Then they observe a car on the way which was turned upside down at the roadside. A zombie appears from a car. Zombie had set a trap to capture them. Now Elizabeth had witnessed this trick of zombie for the first time. She is shocked, seeing it. And she moves ahead after killing that zombie. Moving ahead, Elizabeth encounters a man. When communication starts between both of them. Then she considers him a very civilized man. Then it is revealed now that a man named Wickham was actually the stepbrother of Darcy. Now Darcy's brother tells Elizabeth. Darcy grabbed all the property after the death of our father. Because he thought that we are not capable to handle it, and Elizabeth believes in the story of Darcy's brother. And there was a celebration of a party in the house of Darcy's friend. Where Darcy asks Elizabeth for dance while restoring his courage, but Elizabeth forbids him. Then she moves to her mother after forbidding him. Now she comes to know that her mother is intoxicated. She was speaking jumbled out words. She was saying, Her daughter's marriage is going to be held with a wealthy boy. It is also heard by Darcy there. Now he was sure that they all are greedy. And Darcy moves to England with any excuse, accompanying his friend, when Elizabeth and her sister know about it. Then they had left. And it is further seen that Elizabeth was wandering in the woods. At the same time, Darcy's brother reaches there. Now he leads Elizabeth to that church, and he tells her that zombies control the brainless zombies. Elizabeth asks him, do they not victimize human beings? Darcy's brother tells her, they eat the brain of animal to quench their appetite. They will also have the thirst of human blood the day they tasted it. Darcy's brother wanted it that England's commander may arrange meeting with these zombies. And they sign an agreement among them. Due to this, human beings and the zombies will lead a peaceful life. Now Elizabeth's third sister also gets ready for the marriage. But she had to go to meet Lady Catherine before going to marriage. Then Elizabeth and her sister come to meet Lady Catherine in the palace. Now Elizabeth comes to know that everyone carries out the order of Lady Catherine. Then she also calls Darcy's brother there. And she says, put the agreement before Lady Catherine which held between human beings and the zombies. Now Darcy was also with Lady Catherine. When Darcy's brother talks about the agreement with everyone, they forbid him. And they ask him to get out while insulting him. Later, Elizabeth shows her much anger before Darcy. And she leaves that meeting. Next day, Darcy moves to Elizabeth, ignoring everything, and he proposes her for marriage. But Elizabeth also forbids him. Elizabeth shows her anger on Darcy, but he does not clarify himself here. There is occurred a minute dispute between both of them. After it, Darcy goes to England back, leaving palace. Darcy writes a letter to Elizabeth for his clarification, reaching England. He states in this letter that he had segregated his friend and her sister, because he had heard the words of her mother, that she wants to arrange her daughter's marriage with aristocratic boys. And he had no knowledge that your sister is really love my friend. He also reveals to her that he has not grabbed any property share of his brother. I had given the property share to my brother after the death of my father. But he wasted all and he begins to ask money from me again. He left everything when I forbade him to give him money. And Darcy tells her, zombies have surrounded the whole England. We may never meet again now. Reading it, Elizabeth feels so embarrassment on her. Now Elizabeth knows that her sister has been abducted by Darcy's brother. And he has placed her in the Church of Zombies. Now Elizabeth and her sister move to England, riding on their horses, where they meet Darcy and his friend. Now she tells Darcy that your brother had abducted my sister. Knowing it, Darcy leaves in the darkness to rescue Elizabeth's sister. Elizabeth also goes after Darcy when she knows about it. Now Darcy reaches near that church. It is seen here that he has a bag and there is a human brain. There was the plan of Darcy that he will add the human brain in the food of these half-zombies. They will be transformed into the cannibal after eating it. Ho goes downstairs, mixing the human brain in their food. He observes that Elizabeth's sister is chained. Now Darcy was trying to break that chain. Suddenly, his brother approaches there. There is held a fight between them. Darcy's brother points a gun at him here. And he tries to shoot him. But Darcy remains safe here. Then all zombies reach there, hearing the sound of firing. And they attack them. Darcy breaks the chain of Elizabeth's sister. And they both run away. Coming outside, he gives her his horse. And he asks her to escape from here. Now Darcy notices that all zombies are proceeding to England. At the same time, his brother comes there. But he was not human, but he had transformed into zombie. There is great fight between two brother. As Darcy's brother was trying his best to kill him. Then Elizabeth kills him while approaching there. Then Darcy and Elizabeth escape from there. Now they go on a bridge through which they enter England. But there is a great blast while crossing the boundary of England, in which Darcy and Elizabeth are wounded. And Darcy loses her consciousness. The time after some days is shown where Darcy has completely recovered, and he again proposes Elizabeth for marriage. At this time, Elizabeth consents. Then the wedding ceremony of Elizabeth and her sister is seen. And the movie completes on this scene.